Welcome back, everybody, to Intensity Broadcasting. My name's Josh Holl. This is the Original Rebels Racing League Holl Heating and Sheet Metal Rebels Truck Series here on Intensity Broadcasting. Looking to do another 35 laps around this tricky Roval Speedway here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. You see Daniel Cunningham currently up at the top of the board. Doesn't have a win yet, but consistency paying off. Cody Boehm sits back in second. Christopher Heiner, Tracy Passions, and Jonah Cobert, your top five. Aaron Adcock sits back, or he's actually tied with Jonah for fifth. Josh Oswald back in seventh. Brendan Wallace in eighth. Charles Stevens and Mickey Isaac, your top 10. Christian Dedman back in 11th. Spencer Gay. Garrett Kinder, who's out of the season due to work, sits back in 13th. Chris McLean and William Griffith, your top 15. So McLean with 3 wins, but way back in 14th in the points, but is locked in to the playoffs. Garrett Kinder again with a win, but out of the season for work-related issues. So hopefully we can see Kinder back into the racing series at some point. The other big winners we have Tracy Passions getting the win last week, and Jonah Cobert with 3 wins as well. So as we have one race after this before the playoffs, this could change a lot of the playoff picture. Right now, Jonah Cobert is the fastest truck on the track. Learned a lot in that last race, running the Rebels race, or excuse me, the Outlaw race. You see him able to navigate this track. Currently, fastest lap of a 23:36. That's a 1:23:36. Saw Andy Kurtz and your winner, Jared Reed, running 122s. So we'll see if anybody's able to get down into that 22 range. But right now, it looks like everybody's running 24s, 25s, except for Jonah up in the 23s. So far, only 14 trucks registered for the race. See Christopher Heiner out on track as well. If you weren't here for the first one, this is a very tricky Roval course. You see Christopher Heiner wrecking right off of turn number 2. We're going to ride along here with Jonah so we can get an idea what this track looks like as he's coming now through turns 1 and 2. Oh, he's going to pull off the track, so we're not going to be able to ride with him. Actually, we're going to go qualify now. So let's see if we can ride along with somebody here under qualification, so we can get an idea of what this track looks like. Here's Jonah. So we'll talk about it here. Actually, we'll talk about it as he comes off pit road. That's turn number 2. Come down the short chute to turn 3. And turn 4, which you can almost drive like a double apex. But turn 4 is a bit off camber. You got a lot of runoff room to the left here. You make your way down this long stretch uphill into turns 5 and 6. Turn 7 is down the hill and to the left. It's a blind corner as you pick up the apex right at the crest of the hill. And then you take turn 8 onto the NASCAR oval. Through NASCAR 1 and 2, or what's turns 9 and 10 here on the Roval. And down to our first real passing opportunity of the track, and that is the backstretch chicane. Heavy down on the brakes, down into second gear. Trying to keep off those turtles. Although they can help the truck turn a little bit, they can also really upset that truck. Now down to turns 13 and 14, or NASCAR 3 and 4. Turn 15 is a little left-hander off of turn number 4 here. Down the second gear and through turns 16 and 17. And that is a lap around the Roval. As you can see from the bottom right of the screen, a lot of shifting here. Third gear up the hill. A lot of elevation change too. It doesn't look like at an oval like this there would be much elevation change in the center of the track, but there is quite a bit of up and down, especially through turn 4 there, where you get a little bit off camber. And then you start climbing the hill here through turns 5 and 6. And a lot of elevation here as you come down the hill. You can see just how blind the apex is through turn number 7. And that's a very technical section, that infield section there. Up to fourth gear off of turn number 2 or turn 10 on the Roval. And again, this is going to be where your biggest passing section is going to be right here. A heavy braking down into this bus stop chicane. Staying off those turtles. Getting yourself down. A good launch off of turn number 12 up to fourth gear before you hit the brakes heavily. Off camber again. The way that you kind of come off the banking there can really upset the truck as you get down into this front stretch chicane and across the stripe. So that is a lap around the Roval. Jonah Colbert just ran a 1:23.03. It's like Tyler Rice just making his way across the line for his first lap here. Currently goes P3 with Daniel Cunningham currently up in the second spot. William Griffith, having some trouble through the backstretch chicane, which again is a very tricky section of the track. Eddie Smith still running that pace truck. Making his way down to the front stretch chicane. And you'll see just how little bit of those turtles these drivers really want to take. We saw in the first race a couple drivers really hitting those turtles hard, really upsetting the trucks, almost launching some of the trucks up in the air. We saw a couple Dukes of Hazzard moments as well. And Eddie Smith, just drives it too hard, backs it into the tire barrier there through turn number 2. So that's going to disallow his first time. Christopher Heiner making his way through the backstretch chicane incredibly slowly, trying to get a feel for that. Tyler Rice through NASCAR 3 and 4. Down to the front stretch chicane. Heavy on the braking. Trying not to get too much wheel hop. Using just enough of those turtles to get that truck to turn. And across the line, and Tyler Rice on his second lap is not going to improve his time. Spencer Gay currently in 6th, making his way down through the front stretch chicane. Took a lot of turtle there off of turn 17 across the stripe. He's going to jump up into 4th. See Griff down into turns 15, 16, and 17. And down across the stripe, and Griff is able to set a time currently up into 7th. Christopher Heiner now makes his way through NASCAR 1 and 2. Down the backstretch into the backstretch chicane. And those turtles are set very high up on the track there. Let's see if we can get a good look at the turtles here. As Christopher Heiner comes off of turn number 4. Down into turtles. Yeah, you can see those turtles there protrude quite high. And you can really upset those trucks as they make their way around the track. Charles Stevens Jr. now across the stripe takes the green flag. So Charles was watching the first race here on intensity, see if he learned anything from the outside looking in. Love that intensity logo on the back of the truck. Just noticing that. That looks really good right there. We appreciate the love and support. Stevens up on the banking through turns 1 and 2 down the backstretch. to this tricky backstretch chicane. We're going to see a lot of action in this chicane, whether it's passing, drivers hitting the turtles, spinning around, missing the chicane altogether. That's going to be a trouble zone all night tonight, so we'll watch out for that. We have about 2.5 minutes left here in qualifying. We said I love the support from Charles Stevens with the Intensity logo on the back. Another way you can support us is checking out the links down below. Checking out intensitybroadcasting.com. Find hats, t-shirt, merchandise for not just Intensity Broadcasting, but all of our great leagues, and Atman Weese's merchandise is down there as well. Tyner makes his way down through the backstretch chicane. I'm sorry, not Heiner, Stevens makes his way through the backstretch chicane down into turns NASCAR 3 and 4. Oh, and loses it. There we go. One of those chicane incidents where we're going to get hard on the brakes and loop that thing right around. So that's going to disallow his time, and it looks like that's going to do it for qualifying here tonight, as Charles Stevens will be the last truck to have a time. Of course, again, we want to thank you one last time for watching here, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or Twitch. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Check out the links below to intensitybroadcasting.com, as I was just mentioning. You can also check out the Race EPI, which is where you can find setups and coaching here for iRacing, as well as a link to one of our great partners, the Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is an established and trusted leader in haptics. The award-winning Butt Kicker brand lets users feel low-frequency sounds. The products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC gamers and console gamers, including professional sim racers worldwide. The patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is what I own, and it's the upgraded sim racing and gaming haptic hardware that produces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. To learn more, check out thebuttkicker.com. Again, there is a link down below where you can find that. And yeah, like I said, it's a product that I've been using now for a little while. Absolutely love. And if you're looking for something just to give you a little extra feel, definitely something that you're going to want to check out. Let's take a look at our starting grid with your Peg Leg Pull Award tonight. Going to the 31 of Jonah Colbert, Daniel Cunningham is going to roll off from the second position. Tracy Paston's in third, and Charles Stevens Jr. in the fourth position. Christopher Heiner rounding out your top five. Spencer Gay, he'll roll off from sixth with Mickey Isaac in seventh. Tyler Rice, William Griffith, and Josh Oswald round out your top 10. Cody Boehm, he'll roll off from the 11th position with Eddie Smith to his outside in 12th. Then we'll find Alex Veith in the 51. Rolling off from 13th, Josh Lokovitz in 14th, and Brandon Wallace rounding out the field here tonight at the Roval. Garrett Kinder says, good evening, Mr. Holl. Good to see you, Kinder. Didn't see you in the first race. Figured you were, air quotes here, working hard. But good to see you here in this race as we get ready for 35 laps around this tricky oval. And we'll throw the track map up there on the screen just for those who are joining us who don't know what this track looks like. It is a very technical track. That infield section is probably one of the more difficult infield sections or most difficult sections of a road course that these drivers are going to see. So we'll watch for that tonight, as you won't see much passing in that infield section, but you will definitely see some drivers being able to set up passes on the backstretch there. Kinder says he was watching the marathon race. You know, I wasn't sure which race was going to end first, the Texas race or this Rebels race right here. Even though the race was in Texas, I could hear Tony Stewart complaining about Goodyear tires all the way up here in Massachusetts. And I'm sure a lot of NASCAR fans are going to be saying the same thing about how atrocious the tires were at Texas. But, you know, these new cars, there's so many unknowns about them still. We saw the same thing, though, with the COT. We saw the same thing when they started switching from the Gen 4 bodies to the Gen 5 bodies, if you will. And even the Gen 4 bodies, we saw that as well. So a lot of tire issues as Goodyear and the teams really learn what these cars can and can't do. Cup Series drivers try to get so much, and the teams try to get so much out of the cars and the tires. You rarely see tire issues trickling down into like the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series. But hey, with all the things that General's done the last few years with the ARCA Series, we might see another manufacturer in NASCAR soon. But we're getting ready for 35 laps around this tricky road course. Again, there is no Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewinds tonight, as there is going to be no yellow, so let's throw that up on the screen. We want to thank Kinder Farm and Ranch for supplying us the Wreckage Rewind each and every week. Of course, we're going to leave that on the screen for a moment just to make sure that they get their recognition and praise from us. Well, here we go. Field making their way down through NASCAR 3 and 4. And yes, the start of the race will be in the chicane, so we'll be watching this one as they come down through the chicane. Jonah Cobert's going to lead them down to the green flag, which is now in the air. We are racing here at the Roval. Further back, William Griffith already trying to get around Josh Oswald as they come down into turn 1 for the first time. Brandon Wallace decided to start from the pits. He's just making his way out of the pits now. And Jonah Cobert already with a second lead over Daniel Cunningham and Tracy Parsons. Of course, right now the tires are cold. Not a lot of grip as we see Cody Boehm getting challenged by the 17 of Josh Oswald. And Tracy Parsons already running up on the back bumper of Daniel Cunningham. And Charles Davis Jr. right there as well, as Jonah Cobert's starting to just pull away from this pack behind. And as these drivers behind him are starting to race harder and harder, that's going to allow Cobert just to hit his marks and run away with this one. As they make their way down into the chicane for the first time. Battle back here between William Griffith and Tyler Rice. Griff up on the high lane. He's got Mickey Isaac now taking a look down to the inside as they come down to one of the best passing zones on the track, down into turns 16 and 17. Griff runs over those turtles. Might get a penalty for cutting the course there, as he did go off track to maintain that position. We'll see if he has to slow down here. Just behind, we see Cody Boehm all over the back bumper of Mickey Isaac. And Eddie Smith falling all the way back to 13th. But he's looking down underneath Josh Lokenvitz to take over that 12th position. Up front, we got Tracy Passions and Charles Stevens Jr. in a bit of a battle here. Take a look off the back bumper of Passions. Down into NASCAR 1 and 2. Or here on the Roval, that would be turns 9 and 10. Down into this chicane. Ooh, Passions and Stevens both jumping those turtles like they're the Duke boys. You can't do that too much. That can cause a lot of damage to these trucks. We saw that in the first race. Those turtles can definitely help you turn, but they can also cause you a lot of trouble. As we see Josh Oswald here, he's got Eddie Smith behind. He's got Cody Boehm out in front. And Mickey Isaac falling back a little bit off Tyler Rice into the clutches of Cody Boehm. We heard in the first race that tire preservation was a huge factor. And it's really easy to burn off the back tires here. And we see Eddie Smith looking down underneath. Oh, he got loose. Eddie Smith was trying to get around Josh Oswald. Got loose underneath. Again, this center section of the track, not really the place you want to try to pass somebody. You kind of want to set up or stay right there on the back bumper to make your passes. Either right here coming up onto the NASCAR circuit or try to outbrake them down into the chicane on the backstretch. See Spencer Gay and William Griffith down into the chicane. We see Tyler. Oh! Griff loses it. So doesn't Tyler Rice. Both of them spin down. They make contact. Cody Boehm is around as well. See if we can get a look and see what happened here. As Griff's coming down the backstretch towards the chicane. Gets on the brakes a little hard, loses it. You see him. Almost looks like there's oil on the track there, but we know that's not the case. Just some drivers getting in there a little hard and getting spun around a little bit and causing some damage there. Looks like Cody Boehm might have had another issue here on the front stretch. Loops it there between turns 1 and 2. Hard into the... Oh! Gets stuck in the wall there. That's unfortunate for Boehm. So now Josh Oswald has been passed by Eddie Smith. Eddie's up into the 8th position. He's got William Griffith right behind. And Christopher Heiner has Spencer Gay right behind him, trying to run him down. Up front, though, Jonah Colbert out in the lead as he's coming across the line to complete lap number 4. And we got Josh Oswald and William Griffith side by side. And Oswald's going to let Griff have the position. Oh, Eddie Smith! Eddie Smith just wrecked it. Says Eddie Smith entered pit lane, but I don't think he entered pit lane on... Maybe he was coming down onto pit road. Not sure what happened to Eddie right there. As Eddie Smith is... looks like Eddie Smith may have retired. Yeah, Eddie Smith and Cody Boehm have both retired from the race. And oh no, Brandon Wallace having some issues here as well on the front stretch. See him getting around Josh Lokenvitz and then overdrives turn number 1, catches the wall in the Tums Heartbreak turn. heartburn turn, excuse me. Charlie Gates says, that's not like Eddie. Yeah, not really sure what happened to Eddie right there. Tough break for him as we see drivers coming down the backstretch. Josh Oswald, William Griffith through the backstretch chicane. Oh, Tyler Rice got really squirrely on gas. And Josh Lokovitz loops it around here on the backstretch chicane. Able to keep it off the wall. He's able to do a 360 and keep it going. Brandon Wallace now running down the 51 of Alex Veith. A little further up, we see Christopher Heiner and Spencer Gay getting closer together. As Gay was just starting to run down Heiner just a little bit. They've just worked around, or they're trying to get around Mickey Isaac up in this mix here as well. They make their way very slowly through the infield section. Although Tracy Passion's having some issues. He just went around here coming onto the NASCAR oval. We'll see him making his way up to turn number 8 and just losing it there right by the flowers. Able to get it locked down and back underway. Alex Veith. Ooh, we see Josh. Okay, so we see a couple things going on here. Josh Lokenvitz comes off a turn number 4, just loses it, catches the inside wall. We've seen that quite a few times tonight between two races. And then Alex Veith goes around him, and as he comes up into turns 6 and 7, he loses it between 6 and 7, catches that inside wall. And it looks like Alex Veith might have had another issue here coming into the backstretch chicane. Decides he's going to drive through the chicane completely, and right in front of Josh Lokovitz, parks it up on the turtles and able to continue on. Tracy Passions follows it back into 4th. 7 seconds behind Charles Stevens Jr. Currently running in 3rd. He is 5.5 seconds behind Daniel Cunningham in 2nd. And then Jonah Colbert out in front by just over 4 seconds. Although Cunningham is starting to run down Jonah. Oh, Christopher Heiner having some issues here on the racetrack. Seeing this tricky backstretch chicane. Just missing the braking zones completely. Avoids the turtles, avoids the wall, able to get it woed down. So no damage to the one machine. So good job keeping that off the wall as he gets himself back rolling. Cunningham continue trying to run down Jonah Colbert, but Jonah just ran a 25-24 to Cunningham's 26-16. Another driver is in the 26-second bracket right now is the 12 of William Griffith. Griff up into the 7th position after having that damage in that incident earlier, and he's working up to the back bumper of Mickey Isaac. So Griff starting to work his way through the field, trying to get to the front as he looks down to the inside of Mickey Isaac to take over that 6th position. While that was going on, Alex Veith having some more issues on track. On the front stretch chicane. Spins it right around in the Geico restart zone. Able to keep it going forwards. Mickey Isaac trying to run Griff back down into the front stretch chicane, and he's right there on the back bumper. Had to swerve a little bit from running back into the back of that 12 They're also running up on the 69 of Spencer Gay. Spencer currently running in the 5th position. Griff trying to run down that 69 machine. Griff's going to move right to the outside to get around and up the hill through turns 5 and 6, up to turn number 7. Personally, that section of the track, that 5, 6, 7 complex to turn 8, probably my favorite section of this entire track. Because you can make up so much time through there. And you can really set yourself up for a good run down the backstretch and into the chicane to try to make a pass, try to outbreak someone through the chicane and make the pass here. Mickey Isaac now running down Spencer Gay, trying to get around that 69 machine as they make their way down to the front stretch chicane. And that interval is just about a half a second as Isaac starting to follow in Griff there. May have learned a little bit. And he's catching right up to the 69 machine. Again, you may not see any aggressive passes through this center section, but you can set yourself up for the run down the backstretch through this complex. Especially as uphill through turns 5 and 6, down through 7 and 8. To get a good draft down the backstretch to try to make a move on the backstretch chicane. Josh Lipin's having some issues here on the front stretch. Looks like he had a run-in with the heartburn turn. Yep, just over braking into turn number 1. I don't know. Tracy Paxton's having some more issues out on track. This looks like it's in the backstretch chicane. Just overdrives it, catches the turtles, goes airborne. Barely clips that outside wall. And he's going to continue on. Pit stops can change everything, though, as we saw in the first race. Right now, Jonah Colbert making his way up onto the NASCAR section of the track with a 6-second lead over Daniel Cunningham. I didn't realize this race is actually 40 laps long, not 35. So we are about 9 laps away from halfway. Tyler Rice trying to run down Josh Oswald. Oswald catches those turtles just a little too much there, and that allows Rice to start pulling right back up. So they make their way down to the front stretch chicane. Again, a great passing opportunity down into turns into this front stretch chicane there. Should be turns 15, 16, and 17. You take a look off the front bumper of Tyler Rice. this low view really gives you a good look at the elevation change as they make their way up. Ooh, trouble on track. Charles Stevens Jr. has Tracy Passions all over the back bumper because Stevens had some issues here. Let's take a look at what happened to the 88. Yeah, that off-camber turn number 4 can definitely get you into trouble. And then we see, is that Josh Lokovitz? No, that was Alex Veith getting by. Josh Lokovitz had some issues here as well. Completely missing the front stretch chicane. Able to get that truck back righted in the right direction and back on track. Tyler Rice has finally completed the pass on Josh Oswald. Let's see how he did it here. Right off of that chicane, as we saw that Josh Oswald saw he was a little bit faster. Oh no, issues for the 12 of William Griffith. Little too much turtle there. And that truck just broke loose really late there off the corner. As this battle is continuing here for third place between Charles Stevens Jr. and the 53 of Tracy Passions. Tracy's got the draft here. Oh, Passions going around on the front stretch. Oh, wasn't looking for Brandon Wallace making a move here. There we go. We're looking for what happened to Passions here. He was right there on the back bumper. Did he catch too much curb or did he just lock up the brakes? Yep, got too much of those turtles. Went over the turtles there. Able to loop it around. Josh Oswald also having some issues here. Too much rear brake. Right over the turtles and able to get that truck righted and to continue on. Up front, it's smooth sailing for the 31 of Jonah Cobert. Jonah's really had no competition here tonight other than himself. Although you really don't race your competition here, you race the racetrack more than anything. And we're seeing that here tonight. Oh, Alex Veith having some issues now. Tracy Passions right there behind the 51. Passions going to take a dive down to the inside. Christopher Heiner almost loses it. He slows down. He completely stops there to let them by and then gets back on the throttle and just loops it right around. So Alex Veith having a very tough night here tonight. Making his own highlight reel, if you will. Not what he's trying to do, but... So Mickey Isaac now has Tracy Passions right behind. He's trying to run back down Spencer Gay. As next time by, we have just 25 laps to go. So we'll take you through the field real quick. Jonah Cobert up in the lead. He's got a 9-second lead over second place Daniel Cunningham. Cunningham showing a lot of speed here tonight as well in second. Pretty much running identical lap times as our leader, Jonah Cobert. We'll go 25 seconds back, almost 26 seconds back to third place Charles Stevens Jr. in the 88. He's got an 11-second gap back to fourth place Spencer Gay. And fifth place Mickey Isaac right there waiting in the wings. Tracy Passions currently back in the sixth place. He's down 3 positions from where he started, having a rough night. Been in the wall and jumping the turtles a couple times here tonight. Then Christopher Heiner has lost 2 spots. He finds himself back in 7th. Tyler Rice, right where he started, is we see him get really loose there off of turn number 6. Currently runs back in the 8th place. And William Griffith, who's had a lot of trouble here tonight, we see him back in 9th. Brandon Wallace started from pit road, finds himself up in the 10th position. And Josh Oswald currently runs in 11th, and he is 1 lap down. Josh Lokenvitz back in 12th. Alex Veith having a very rough night. He's 2 laps down, sitting back in 13th. And then Cody Bowman, Eddie Smith have retired from the race as Tracy Passions has Christopher Heiner all over the back bumper. Heiner was trying to take that 6th position away. But right now, Passions starting to pull back away as he continues to try to run down the 01 of Mickey Isaac. And Isaac keeps gaining a little bit of time on Spencer Gay, then he starts losing it. Definitely have 2 sections of track where one's better than the other, and vice versa. Alex Veith making his way down pit road. He is the first truck to hit pit road. So he's going to get service in a new truck. So we know he's been having some issues here tonight, getting that damage fixed on that 51 machine. I imagine Jonah's going to try to split this race in half. They are going to have to come down pit road for fuel. And for most of these drivers, I know those tires don't feel very well at all as well. So expect these drivers starting to make their way down pit road in the next 3 or so laps. Heiner back to the back bumper of Tracy Passions, but Tracy taking a lot of turtle there. And Heiner is able to pull right up on Tracy Passions through the middle section here and the back half of the track, the back sector, if you will. Josh Oswald now on pit road. You can see by the sector times, oops, that's not the one I want. See by the sector times, Passions is a little bit quicker through sector 1 and sector 2. But through this back section of the track, Heiner is going to be quicker than Passions by quite a bit here. You see, that's where Tracy's losing all his time there through sector 3. So what he gains in sectors 1 and 2, he loses plus some in sector 3, and it down into the front stretch chicane. Heiner is able to pull right back up on that back bumper. Heiner's able to get through that chicane just a little bit cleaner, and Passions really able to pull away back again through sector 4. So everything that Heiner gains in Sector 3, he loses there in Sector 4. We see Passons again almost half a second quicker through Sector 1 than Heiner. And for those who are a little confused by sectors, if I pull up the track map here, you see the red dots there. So the start-finish line to that first red dot, that's Sector 1. Sector 2 is just in the middle of the infield section. Sector 3 is halfway down the backstretch before the chicane, and Sector 4 is the last part of the track. So you see that time, Heiner was able to gain some time on Passons in Sector 2 and Sector 3. As they're coming up on some lap trucks here. Heiner just not able to find his way past that 53 machine of Tracy Passons. This battle is continuing as well between Mickey Isaac and Spencer Gay. Doing the same thing, looking at Spectres here. We see Gay is a little bit slower than Isaac through Sector 1. As they make their way here up the hill through 5 and 6. Right here will be Sector 2, and Gay's just a little bit quicker through that technical section there. Ashens is actually catching these two in front as well as they make their way down towards Sector 3. Isaac is a little quicker through this part of the track as well. See the battle really flip-flopping back and forth between these two as they make their way back to the front stretch. And we might see some pit stops here. We'll see if these guys stay out. Nope, they're going to pass pit road, so we'll see who's a little bit quicker through this fourth sector. It looks like it's Spencer Gay. So flip-flopping the lap times here. That's exactly what we've been seeing all race long. As William Griffith now makes his way down pit road to get his service done. Imagine he's going to take his reset here, get that truck fixed up to try to make his way back up into the top 5. He has a top 5 truck. We've seen the speed out of this 12 machine all night long. Not taking his reset. Jonah Colbert, your leader, coming down onto pit road. Daniel Cunningham also on the pit road. We'll see what Junior does here as he makes his way down through this chicane. We'll see if the 88 makes his way down pit road as well. Which looks like he is going to come down pit road. Jonah is down and away. Cunningham just getting the left side tires on his truck. Now he's going to peel off a pit road. Charles Stevens Jr., as I said, just made his way down onto pit road. Here comes Spencer Gay, Mickey Isaac, Tracy Passons, Christopher Heiner. So the field all pitting here on lap 21. Brandon Wallace coming down onto pit road as well. See Tyler Rice. I believe Rice has already been on and off of pit road. Yes, he has. He has a new truck, as you can see, as well. So that 6 machine on and off of pit road. As Jonah's lead is now over Daniel Cunningham, almost 20 seconds. Cunningham had a little bit slower last lap. His out time on the track was 2 seconds slower than Colbert. And that equates to quite a bit of time on the racetrack. So at this point, it's Jonah's race to lose. He's just out there turning laps, trying to keep that truck clean. Mickey Isaac trying to battle here with the one of Christopher Heiner. As they are both on fresh tires now, trying to make the best of those Mr. Feel Goods right now. Just out in front, we see Spencer Gay and Tracy Passions. Passions running down that 69 machine. Try to move himself up into the top 5. See, the damage on his truck has been fixed. He took his reset on that pit stop. Tracy gets a little loose. Almost catches that AstroTurf on the infield there. Yes, AstroTurf here at Charlotte. They don't have actual grass. That is AstroTurf. So, oh, Passions loses it down into turn number 1. Don't think he caught the inside wall. I think he got through that pretty cleanly. Let's take a look at the front of that truck there. And yeah, no damage. As we take a look to see exactly what happened to Passions here. Down into the heartburn turn, and yeah, just loses it. Able to keep it off the wall, though. That's the important part. No damage to that 53 machine. So we see this battle heating up here. Mickey Isaac, William Griffith, Christopher Heiner all battling Griff. Even though he's got that damaged truck, he's showing some speed right now. He wants to drive himself back up into the top 5. They make their way down through the backstretch chicane. You see Griff right there getting a good run through there to get right on the back bumper of Mickey Isaac. Not quite close enough. Try to outbrake him down into this chicane on the front stretch. But he could be able to try to outbrake him. No, not quite close enough. I was going to say maybe into turn number 1, as Isaac was trying to make a move into turn number 1 on Heiner. So, and then right behind we see Brandon Wallace in this mix as well. So these 4 trucks battling for position right now. Unlike the first race where we saw everybody really spread out. We see some spreading out here, but not like what we've seen. Heiner's getting around the lap truck of Alex Veith. Isaac's able to roll through as well. There goes Griff right on by. Griff getting a great run off of turn number 8 as they come through turns 9 and 10. Griff uses that high lane to try to wind that truck up down this backstretch. Try to get some draft into this backstretch chicane, and he's, catches the wall as Isaac ran a very aggressive defensive line through the corner. And Brandon Wallace having some issues. He's disappeared from the racetrack. Not quite sure what happened to Wallace, if he had a connection issue or what. As this race in here for 6th, 7th, and 8th continues, and Griff able to climb right back to the back bumper of that 01. Again, you don't normally see passes through this technical infield section, but Griff is able to close right up on the 01, see if he can make a move here on the NASCAR oval. Lost a little bit of time there, it looks like. Well, let's see if he can pull right up to the back bumper here. Again, using that little higher line. Trying to get that truck wound up. Getting out of the draft as well in the corner to try to get some downforce to help him turn. Oh, and Isaac loses it. Mickey loses it here into the chicane. Right in front of our leader, Jonah Colbert right there. That was pretty sketchy for our leader. So Griff able to get around Mickey Isaac due to Mickey just getting a little loose there. Now he's going to try to run down Christopher Heiner here. Let's take a look to see what happened to Mickey here. We'll ride along with Mickey. We'll listen to hear the tire spin up here. You hear the RPMs drop. That means those back tires locked up. He's able to loop it back around and get going, though. But like I said, right in front of your leader, Jonah Colbert, who's right there. There's Tracy Passons, who again has a new truck. Did have that spin just a few laps ago, but he's running down William Griffith as Josh Lokovitz just had an issue here. See what happened to Lokovitz. Down into the front stretch chicane, just misses the chicane completely. Loops it around. No harm, no foul. He's able to continue on. So as I expected, the chicanes showing a lot of trouble to these drivers here. As it looks like Brandon Wallace has retired from the race as well. So Jonah Colbert really pulling away, running away with this race. Currently 25 seconds out in front of second place Daniel Cunningham. There's Cunningham now just coming across the stripe. And Cunningham is 38 seconds in front of Charles Stevens Jr., who is just now coming into the backstretch chicane. And to put that in perspective, Jonah, our leader, is just coming off of NASCAR turn number 2. Looks like Brandon Wallace is back on the track, so I think he might have had a connection issue, might have dropped out of the race. But he's still got someone to battle with. He's got Alex Veith, who is 22 seconds in front of him, who's been struggling all night long. We'll see if he's able to catch up to Veith. And as I say that, Veith having some issues on the track, so this will help Wallace catch up quite a bit. Seen this time and time again tonight. How about a pass on the track here? We see Christopher Heiner getting around Spencer Gay, perfectly set up down into the backstretch chicane. Catches a little bit of the turtles there, but able to make his way around. So now Griff trying to run down Christopher Heiner still to take over that 5th position. And we are coming up on 10 laps to go in just a couple laps. Oh! Heiner just looped it around. Oh, Jonah Colbert, our leader, makes some contact as well. That's the incident we want to see right here. What happened to Heiner down into the corner? Catches a little too much of that turtle, loops it around. Then your leader, Jonah Cobert, comes through and makes some contact. Doesn't look like it's going to be enough to hurt that 31 machine, but definitely a scary moment for Jonah Cobert. While that was going on, Alex Veith having some issues here as well. Just looping it there off of turn number 3. Let's take a look to see what Jonah actually saw here. Yeah, he didn't see that coming at all. So Heiner is going to fall back into the 9th position. That's going to move Griff up in the 5th. And he is steadily catching the 6 of Tyler Rice, who is just about 3 seconds in front of Griff. And that incident that Jonah was just involved in has allowed Daniel Cunningham to cut 10 seconds off that lead. So now he's only 20 seconds back, as Jonah makes his way down onto the front stretch through the chicane. And we have 10 laps to go. Josh Wilkinvitz having some issues here. Oh, interesting place to lose it there off of turn number 6. Not a place you normally see a spin there. That's a troublesome spot, though, because that's downhill blind corner. You really can't see what's going on if you're coming up through there. Here's Alex Veith. A replay, see what happened to the 51 machine. Again, down into the backstretch chicane. And just missing the chicane completely. Well, Griff has Tracy Passons now a second behind. And he's cut down that lead of Tyler Rice. Or the gap between him and Tyler Rice. You can see just how quickly Griff is catching Rice here. Well, with 6 seconds on lap 25, is now just under, well, just about a second on lap number 30. There's the battle box right now with these 3 on track. This is the battle for 4th. As Griff, gets a little squirrely there under braking. He's right there on the back bumper. It forces Tyler Rice a little wide there. That's going to allow Griff to get the run through NASCAR 3 and 4 down to the front stretch chicane, but I don't think he's going to have enough momentum to try to dive bomb down into the corner here. He almost tries to throw the move, almost tries to outbrake him down into the chicane. That's allowed Passons to get right there on the back bumper as well. So here's Griff down through turns 1 and 2. Alex Veith, his troubles continue. He was down on the inside there in turn number 1 as that battle for 4th came by. Now just too heavy on the brakes, loops it right around in the heartburn turn. Back to this battle for 4th. This is where Griff makes up all of his time, it seems. Right here, off of turn number 8, and down through NASCAR 1 and 2, and down to the backstretch chicane. That's where Griff's been the strongest all night long tonight. He's able to get through there so smoothly. And now using a little bit of draft here to come through NASCAR 3 and 4. And up to the front stretch chicane where we saw he did try to dive bomb it the last time through here. Able to try to really get on the brakes hard and late. Pull right up to Tyler Rice. And again, now that interval is under half a second. Tyler Rice, though, able to get off the corners a little bit better than Griff. So Griff into the corners so much better. Rice off the corners so much better. And Tracy Pass is just kind of hanging out back there, hoping that one of these drivers or both drivers makes a big mistake. And another issue for Christopher Heiner. Oh, just loops it around there in the front stretch chicane. Kai Shappy says Roval definitely feels different after the last couple updates. Truck has no turn on the bottom in the NASCAR corners. So that explains why we see these drivers using that higher lane through turns 9 and 10 and 13 and 14. So Griff now might have a little bit of a position here down into the front stretch chicane. Definitely able to close that gap here. And that time, Rice was not able to get off the corner as well as he had before. So now Griff's going to be able to close the gap right here with just 6 laps to go. Christopher Heiner, another issue. Oh, Griff almost runs into the back of Tyler Rice. That's really going to kill the momentum of the 12 and allow Rice to start to pull back away as that lead is, or that interval has grown to almost back up to a second. Take a look to see what happened to Christopher Heiner again as he looped it around here. We saw this already where he looped it around in the front stretch chicane and then just heavy on the gas, loops it around again. Look at this. Griff already closed that interval right back up on Tyler Rice. And I think Griff is close enough where he might try to outbrake Rice down into this chicane. No, not quite close enough. Can he get off the corner well enough to stay with him here up to the front stretch chicane? Here's just practicing those burnouts for Vegas next week. Here we go, down to the front stretch. We've seen Griff be able to outbrake Tyler Rice so much into this chicane, and he is still right there on the back bumper. Jonah Colbert is right behind this battle as well. He just took 5 laps to go. So Jonah Colbert, you see that blue truck right there in the background, about to put the 6th place car a lap down. This is the best battle on the track right now. This is the battle for 4th. Griff just trying to stay within contact of this 6 machine. And this might be the lap where he is close enough to try to dive bomb into the chicane. Ooh, Josh Lukovitz having some issues as we see Griff not able to get through NASCAR 1 and 2 as well as he wanted to. Oh, almost gets squirrely through the chicane, but able to stay right there with Rice. Let's see what happened to Lukovitz here. It's another front stretch chicane issue. Sure is. Loops it right around. Lets Christopher Hyder get right on by. Speaking of front stretch chicane, Griff still right there as we are coming to 4 laps to go as Jonah Cobert's just crossing the line now. Here, just look how hard Griff is working inside this machine. Hear those tires crying for grip right now. Great view of the battle here. Griff working that wall, trying to turn it down off of turn NASCAR 4 to try to get the run down here into the chicane. He's going to take a look to the inside. Not quite close enough to make that move work. He's going to try to set it up another lap here. Now Tracy Passions is right here on the back bumper as well. And again, Jonah Cobert not too far behind these guys as well. You see them just coming into view as Jonah is just making his way off of turn number 2. And this battle up front is intensifying. 3 laps to get it done. Does Griff have anything for Rice? Griff doing a good job through turns 7 and 8 here, trying to stay right up on the back bumper. And he's taking a look down into turns 9 and 10. He's got the position now to the inside. Down the backstretch, is he going to be able to outbrake down into the backstretch chicane? He is going to take that position away. So Griff, catches the curb. That allows Rice to fight back on the right side. Door to door, side by side through NASCAR 3 and 4. Griff uses a little side draft here, pushes that 6 up the track as they make their way down to the front stretch chicane. Griff has been so strong on the brakes here all night long. They are still side by side through the chicane. Rice forces Griff over the curbing there. Now with 2 laps to go, Griff has to do it all over again. Again, don't forget, Jonah Cobert is right behind this, and that's the last thing he wants to see is these drivers in front of him, these lappers. I know they're battling for 4th, 5th, and 6th, but these lappers getting in the way of his race win. He does, though, have a 25-second advantage over second place Daniel Cunningham, and Cunningham has a 40-second advantage over Charles Stevens Jr. Griff already climbing back, clawing his way back up to the back bumper of Tyler Rice. Jonah Cobert right behind, getting ready to take the white flag for 1 lap to go. All Jonah's got to do is keep it on the gray stuff, keep it off the green and red and blue. As the white flag is in the air, 1 lap to go. Griff, can he make a last-ditch effort pass here to move himself up into the 4th position? Griff has been so strong through this technical section here to get to the back bumper of Tyler Rice to try to make the move as they make their way through turn 7 and down to turn number 8. Griff gets a great turn off turn 8 and a good launch down onto the backstretch. Is he able to use that draft to get up to the back bumper? You know what? These guys are out in front of Jonah Cobert. They're going to have another lap to do this. So Jonah's going to take the checker flag as we see Tyler Rice got a little bit loose there into the chicane. But these guys have not taken the white flag yet. So these guys will have another lap to battle as Jonah Cobert behind is going to take the checkered flag. These drivers are just taking the white flag. So they're going to have one lap to go as they come through the front stretch chicane. You see the checker flag is in the air, but that is for Jonah Cobert getting the win. But this battle is continuing right now. So we don't want to take anything away from Jonah, who just took the win. But, man, we still got a battle on the track right now, as Griff is doing everything he can to claw his way back up to the back bumper of the 6. Tyler Rice doing everything he can to keep that 12 machine behind him. Tracy Passions hoping that these two get into each other and allow him to sneak on through as they make their way up onto the NASCAR oval for the final time. Griff not able to pull alongside like we saw earlier. Is he going to try to brake really hard and late? And he is. He's going to get right back to that back bumper as they make their way through the chicane, through 11 and 12, up to turns 13 and 14. 3 turns remain. Tyler Rice down into turns 15, 16, and 17. He's going to hold off Griff, and he's going to bring it home in 4th place. Look at Griff trying to make the effort, though, to the line. And Tyler Rice holds off Griff to hold on to that 4th position. Griff, though, what a fantastic run. I told you he had a top 5 truck, and he proved me right, bringing it home in 5th. But don't want to take anything away from your winner here tonight. In dominating fashion, the 31 of Jonah Cobert, who parks it here in turn number 4. And he's going to bring it down onto the front stretch and celebrate. Takes out the cones and celebrates his win by... He's just going to park it in the heartburn turn. And up onto the wall. What a victory celebration for Jonah Cobert. Up on the wall. Fortunately, the safety crew is right there, although they have their back to him right now and don't even look like they care. But fortunately, the ambulance is right there. The field goal is good. Man, what a battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th, and what a great victory for Jonah Cobert. Let's take a look. I think we can pull up the final results. Yeah, Jonah Cobert gets the win here tonight. Daniel Cunningham comes home 2nd. Charles Stevens Jr. back in 3rd. T. Rice in 4th. Shappy just said Tyler Rice, by far the most improved racer across the league. He's going to win himself a championship next season. And yeah, he's been showing some speed. And he showed some speed here tonight. William Griffith comes home top 5. Tracy Pastons in 6. Spencer Gay, Mickey Isaac, and Christopher Heiner round out. And Josh Oswald round out your top 10. Josh Lokovitz comes home 11th. Brandon Wallace 4 laps down in 12th. Alex Veith in 13th. And then Eddie Smith and Cody Bohm round out the field. Both retired from the race on lap number 3. So as we get ready to talk to our winners, our podium here tonight, starting with 3rd place, Charles Stephen Jr. Charles, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
I gotcha.
Man, what a run for you tonight. Coming home third. I know road course racing, you learned a little bit watching that first race, I'm sure. What was it like out there? And I know you didn't have anything for Jonah or Daniel, but you're able to come home with a great finish here tonight.
Yeah, I had a pretty fast truck. I messed up my qualifying on my second lap. I spun coming through that chicane, coming to the checkered flag. Yeah, I was racing with Tracy there, and I was pushing it pretty hard to try to get around him. And then I ended up, he spun, and then he caught up to me, and then I ended up spinning it myself. But other than that, it was a real clean race, and just try to keep it as clean as possible to get that podium.
Yeah, for sure. And I know you're not much. I don't think you're much of a road racer. I might be wrong, but able to get yourself a podium is pretty cool here on the Roval. Is road racing something you're good at, or is it just the way that the cards fell for you here tonight?
I am no good at it, but I did do a lot of laps today, practice, and just put the time into it. And I ran back here when me and Kendo we won the Cadillac CTS race here as that teamed race that we did. So I pit laps in there, and then I practiced today. So I think that definitely helped. And I'm definitely moving forward to road racing. I'm going to practice a lot before the next one, and hopefully I can repeat a podium.
Awesome, man. Well, again, great podium here for you tonight. Again, I know you finished 40 seconds behind Cunningham, but those two are in a class of their own here tonight. So, and keeping it pretty much clean. That was the other thing that was impressive. A lot of drivers spinning it out, having some issues here. You pretty clean here tonight, just having the one off track. So, a great job for you here tonight. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shout outs you got to give here tonight?
Well, I want to shout out my cousin's company that was on the truck tonight, Fox Painting. I gave them a shout out. Told them I was going to run the paint tonight, and I definitely put on a show and hopefully made them proud. And then my team over at Dark Horse, and then you for broadcasting. On intensity, I definitely got intensity on the side of the truck tonight to shout you out. And then my son and wife and family for allowing me to race.
Yeah, I definitely saw the intensity on the side of the truck. I called that out earlier tonight. I appreciate that. Speaking of your Dark Horse teammates, Alex Veith said if God wanted me to turn right, he would have made me 6'2", 230. Man, he had a rough night tonight. He had a highlight reel all of his own here tonight. So.
Yeah, just ask Jason Warren, his teammate with that Cadillac race, how Alex races. So he puts his he does his best here, and like I said, he just goes out and has fun. That's all what's all about.
Well, awesome job here tonight. And as the season continues, how do you like your chances next week in Vegas?
I actually enjoy that track. So keep clicking off these top fives and podiums, and I should be moving up that leaderboard pretty good.
Yeah, because right now you're sitting back in ninth in the charts on the points coming into the race. So good points night for you here tonight, and we look forward to seeing how the rest of the season goes for you. So good luck.
Awesome. Thanks, Josh.
So that was your third place finisher, Charles Stevens Jr. Let's bring in your second place finisher, Daniel Cunningham. Daniel, got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. I got you, Josh.
Man, a great run for you here tonight. On my board, it looks like you were the only truck not to have an X all night tonight. So keeping the truck clean, keeping it on the track, having yourself a good place finish. Great job for you here tonight. I know that's a good points night for you, extending your points lead. I know that's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, definitely a good night. That's usually my mentality with road course racing, is just try to keep all four wheels on the pavement, and usually it'll work out where you can bring home a decent finish with it, top five, if not a little bit better. So definitely worked out that way. Jonah was just in his own zip code all night long. He gave me a couple tips in practice, and I was able to get a little bit faster, but definitely couldn't match the pace that he had all night long, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But were you kind of surprised that the rest of the field seemed to be so far behind you two?
it's difficult because there's a lot of there are a lot of people that are good road racers in the league, and there's a lot of people that put in a lot of time to it. This track is just so difficult. It's especially in the infield section. It's hard to keep the truck underneath of you, or really anything you run NASCAR related here. It's hard to keep the tires underneath of it. Just wants to kick the rear out and spin the rears. So I think there were probably a lot of guys that had pace to keep up, at least with where I was at. But it looked like there was a lot of guys that ran into trouble. I know Tracy was running pretty well there at the beginning. I think he had a couple spins, and Charles was running really well at the beginning as well. And I think he may have either had something happen in front of him or something like that. But yeah, I was surprised it got quite as strung out as it did. Definitely would like to see it a little bit closer, keep things a little bit more interesting and everything. But yeah, I was a little surprised by that for sure.
Well, I'm if you watch this race back, you'll find out the last 10 laps there was probably one of the best battles for fourth, fifth, and sixth that I've seen in a long time. So definitely strung out at the front, but the middle of the pack was fantastic racing. So a great job for you though here tonight. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shout outs you got to give here, Daniel?
Yeah, appreciate you putting on the broadcast as always. You do a fantastic job with it. Thanks to Jonah for the help that he was giving me in practice, helping me pick my pace up a little bit. All of our league sponsors, the other admins that put in a lot of work into this to make sure everything runs, and Rowdy Energy. And just thanks to everybody involved.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats. How do you like your chances next week at Vegas?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of experience in the trucks, which probably comes as a surprise given where I'm at in the point standings this season. But I never really ran trucks a lot in the officials. I never really. This is actually the first full truck season I've done anywhere. So I don't think I've ever actually run the trucks at Vegas. So go full send and see what she does.
Yeah, all the drivers who were closer, I know you're only a point ahead of Cody Bohm coming in and Christopher Heiner. They were both 1 point behind you, and Tracy Passions 4 points behind you. All of them having some trouble here tonight. So with Jonah getting the win, he was already locked into the playoffs. So you've got a good chance of getting into the playoffs yourself. So good luck next week, and hopefully you get that win and secure your spot.
Sir, appreciate it, Josh.
Have a great night. That was your second place finisher, Daniel Cunningham. Let's bring in your winner here tonight, Jonah Cobert. No, I did that on purpose that time. Just
Eddie Holl. What's up, Eddie?
Man, what a run tonight. Great win here. Dominating performance. I mean, not much else you could say. You had that truck on rails all night long. And, man, just a great finish overall. I know you had that one scare there in the backstretch chicane. Take us through that.
Well, about poop my pants. Yeah, just the caution flag came out on my screen, so I was slowing down anyways, and I saw, I think it was Heiner. He was stopped there in the middle in the chicane, and I don't know, the truck just didn't want to stop, and I barely bumped him. I think maybe 1 or 2 miles an hour. I was barely moving when I hit him, so I don't think I got any damage. Luckily, I had a good enough lead, a big cushion there. I didn't really lose much from it, so it was fine.
Yeah, you lost about 10.5 seconds on that incident, but at that point you had a 40-something second lead, and that's what you ended up winning the race. Oh no, you had won the race by 24 seconds. So, man, just not much I can say. Just absolutely dominating. You must. The track seemed very slick out there though, and you were able to really manage the tire spin. What was the track out there? Was it as slick as it looked here from up in the booth?
It wasn't so much the track as it was the setup. I mean, the infield portion of the Roval is always going to feel slick because all the elevation changes, but the setup was really burning the tires up, and it just they had a lot of rear ballast in it, which was throwing it off under braking. It was doing all sorts of crazy stuff, and I ran a few laps in that Outlaws race just to see how it handled as practice, and then parked it. So I learned a little bit from those few laps I did run, and it was, for me, it was just taking care of the tires under braking, and that because you had to run the brake bias so high just to keep it from spinning, and so it was really prone to lockups. And I just backed my braking points up all race just to prevent any tires, wheel hop or anything like that, and that was able to save the rear tires a little bit. So I was able to get on the gas a little bit sooner than I probably some of those other guys late in the run. So just kind of taking it easy is really what it was, I think. So.
Well, you got your 4th win of the season. That's going to put you up into the points lead after tonight. And that's got to feel pretty good moving into the final race of the season. I know you're already locked into the playoffs, but how do you like your chances next week at Vegas?
Oh, Vegas is a fun track. That'll be a blast in the trucks. Bless you. But yeah, I was telling Daniel he was Daniel was talking about staying out there for a lap and getting a bonus point, and now I bet he's wishing he would have because I got the points lead over it. So now Vegas will be a blast. You'll see a lot of 2 and 3 wide racing early on there, I think. So yeah, should be a fun race. Be a good show
for sure, and I'm looking forward to it. And I muted my microphone. I don't know how you heard that, considering I had both my microphone muted on my headset and my microphone for broadcasting. So that's wild. But before we let you go, anyone want to thank any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, shout out to Griff for putting the series together. Garrett, even though he's not out there racing with us, he tries to jump in and watch and support. So appreciate that. Intensity Broadcasting, Cofield, Asphalt Finishing, all the guys that step up and sponsor these series and help it get broadcasted. We appreciate it, and all the admins and the people who provided this setup. I've lost it on me right now. Sorry, my brain is fried. It's so hot in here, but I think it was Matt Clement who helped, and yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. Oh, one more thing I want to mention. What a wild way to celebrate your win. Shappy did say that the field goal was good. Fortunately, you parked it right there next to the ambulance, so you okay after that?
Yeah, Daniel actually challenged me to that. He said, "Hey, after you do your cool down, you gotta skip the chicane and you gotta hit the ramp." And I said, "All right, I'm gonna do it." And yeah, it was good. It broke iRacing because it told me I was cutting it. I cut the course and I had to give up negative 30 seconds, and I didn't know what that meant. So
it's like in Super Troopers, you got to pull over when you're already pulled over.
Yep.
Well, again, great win tonight. We look forward to seeing what you do next week at Vegas. And again, congratulations. Have a great night.
All right. Thanks, Josh.
So that was your winner here tonight. Jonah Cobert, dominating fashion, getting the win. Almost lapping the whole field. Only 6 cars left on the lead lap at the end. So again, congratulations to Jonah. We do look forward to seeing what we do next week in the last week of the regular season. Of course, I want to thank all of our great partners along here, like The Butt Kicker. The Butt Kicker is established a trusted leader in haptics. Their design makes it incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. It's an upgraded sim racing gaming haptic hardware that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. Check it out at thebuttkicker.com. We want to thank everybody who makes this possible over at the Rebels, including Holl Heating and Sheet Metal, and Peg Leg Felts, Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, and everybody who makes this league possible. We want to thank everybody there as well. Don't forget to join us here on Tuesday night as we got our truck doubleheader going off again with the Doghouse Racing League, followed by the SCSRA. Doghouse this week will be taking off from Kentucky Speedway, the old Kentucky Speedway, so that'll be fun for sure. And then you can find the SCSRA Truck Series, as they are going to be taking on, looks like Charlotte Motor Speedway, but the oval. So check us out here next week. And then Wednesday night, we've got Indianapolis in the Xfinity Series. And then the playoffs almost begin on Friday night as the Grand National Series will be taking on Twin Ring Motegi for the wild card race. So check that out. Full line of racing next week. Don't forget that like button and hit that notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. One more time, congratulations to Jonah Cobert. And as our boy Atman Weiss would say,